This episode of the Red Bull Rant is by the fine patrons that support us through patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. You can support us for the low price of $1 a month, and you can get exclusive content, including a monthly wrap-up for the New York Red Bulls. We want to send a special shout-out to our patrons who support us at $5 a month. That is our producer-level reward. Thank you to Jeremiah Dempster, William Martin, Gwen Rachesco, Clayton John, Chris Adamek, and Maeve Dartinez. Now, on to the show.
The Red Bull Rant is a free-flowing podcast with three soccer-loving idiots who don't know when to shut their dumb potty mouths. So listener discretion, yeah, it's pretty much advised.
Welcome, my friends, to the show never ends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Iapicco.
I'm Pat McDonald.
I'm Truman. I'm in a car, and this is episode 389, The Ultimate Scoring Machines.
That's a very good title for this episode.
Yeah, see?
I guess we should just talk about that first? I have for Dumping Ground. I feel like we're good. Okay, we'll save for Dumping Ground then. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so Red Bulls started this year off perfect. First two games, 6 points from two away matches, with a 4-1 win over TFC. And just saw this, which is something I was going to... Actually, you know what? I'll save that because that's my dislike. Before we get into our likes and dislikes, we will read the tweets. First, Ed Ritter at EdRitter60 on Twitter. Played two shit teams, but putting 6 in the bank is 100% TBD. I think it's fair. Tonino M at Tonino M. Wait a few weeks when this team is at full capacity. Josh Mann at JMaxMan. We did what we were supposed to do. How many times last year did we drop points early to crap teams? I'm thrilled. Let's see. Matt Binder at It's Binder. Dearest Gerhard, forgive us for our lack of faith and transgressions. Steven Santos at Creepy Taxi. I will always take 2 road wins in any season, even the whole season, if not the first 2 weeks in a row. Adam at home, Adam from Earth just has a gif of somebody chiseling a statue.
I'm assuming the Lewis Morgan statue.
That's what I was thinking. It's Lewis Morgan statue. Thomas Hubert at Tom Hurlbert 84. This team can be very fun to watch. I think that's very possible. And lastly, Rachesco at Rachesco. Yes, sirs, you too can boogie.
There you go.
I have an idea, while I'm talking statues, since why don't we just take the one half of the Kaku statue that we built? Because really we haven't even gotten to the top of the torso, right?
Sure,
and then we just have like detachable tops. So right now we screw on the Morgan top, right, because he had a great game. And then when he comes out of favor, we unscrew him, and we pop on like the next guy, we screw that guy on. We'll just have a bunch of like upper body.
Yeah, works for me.
Generic uniform, it works. It's very possible. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it with our dislikes. Sorry. So we'll start with dislikes. Pat, you can go first. What did you dislike about this one?
Oh man, what did I dislike? I guess I dislike that. I feel like Lewis Morgan could have had 4. I'm not convinced that that goal that got called back on offside was offside. So I think this could have been a 5-1 victory with Lewis Morgan have 4 goals. So, yeah, I guess that's, because not much to dislike about this match, so I'm just going to go with that one.
Gosh darn it, because that's what I was going to say. I want a full-on VAR investigation. We did not get enough of a review. I wanted lines drawn in the grass. I needed everything. I needed angles. Whatever you need to do to make sure that goal is actually onside. I wanted them to have 4. That would have been fucking awesome. Because, like Pat, like you said, Not a ton to complain about. Maybe the one goal given up was a little bit of sloppy defending, but
Mm-hmm.
when you retaliate right afterwards, I can't get mad. Can't get mad at you.
Nope.
My dislike, and it's funny you mentioned VAR, it's because of how fucked up VAR was in this game. Carlos Salado did not get a red card for his tackle on Patrick Kamala during the game. I just saw something that apparently as of 6:30 p.m. today, he was officially given a retroactive red card for that tackle.
My gosh.
There you go.
So the disciplinary committee doing its thing and stepping up, but I don't know how the VAR referee and the main referee sit there and look at that and think that, no, it's not a red card. His studs didn't go over the ball and get Kamala dead in the side of the leg. Like, Felipe Martin, when he was playing New England, got a red for much less worse studs up challenge, where his studs were facing the ground and went over the ball. Yet this is...
That was clear red, yeah. I think so, anyway.
I mean, even TSM guys were like, what the fuck? How is this not a red?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right, likes. Truman, you go first. What was your like of this one?
I'm not going to say the obvious. What about Patrick Lamala with 3 assists in that game?
There you go.
Give it up for Patty Cakes. I mean, that's pretty awesome too, because obviously we can all talk about the hat trick, and I'm sure we will. Patrick Lamala, my number 9, my jersey. He's representing. He's got a goal. He's got assists. The man is just on fire to start the year.
Yeah, I guess my like is just going to be that, I mean, I think this is probably the most fun the team has been to watch in a very long time. Definitely was not a game anywhere close to this fun to watch last year, and I mean, I certainly don't recall 2 years ago being all that much fun either. I mean, it's just in all phases of the game, they just looked pretty damn dominant in this one. You know, I even compared to, like, I mean, I know they won, you know, they scored 3 against San Jose, so you could say they were, you know, that was a fun one to watch too, but there were things you could nitpick in that game. This one, it just looks like they put their boot on the throat of TFC early and often, and it was just an exciting. I mean, it was not only did they press, they passed very well. I mean, some of the best passing I've seen for this team in a very long time. They were just a lot of fun to watch, and it's a welcome respite from the crap we've been force-fed the last couple of years. I mean, I'm not convinced they keep this form up by any stretch of the imagination over the course of the season. But you know, at least for a week, it was a hell of a game to watch.
This is possibly the best play we've seen since the 2018 Shield year.
Yeah, possibly.
I think so. I mean, there are probably stretches where we won a lot of games in 19, but still.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some of the comments were like, you know, hey, it's 2 games against bad teams, but remember, I think most people thought we were going to be one of the bad teams. So we didn't really take care of business against teams we should be, but maybe this is the turnaround saying, hey, listen, they're I mean, again, 2 weeks in, they're not as bad as everyone thought they were projected to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they only have more players coming in that will hopefully pan out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think one of our Twitter said something along the lines of, you know, or maybe it was a response to one of the tweets about, hey, last year we'd play bad teams at home even and shit the bed. So, I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do against bad teams.
And that's kind of my like, is the fact that we're taking, 2 games, but we're taking care of business in the games we're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That has been something we have not been doing the last few years. Right? We sometimes get up for the big matches, but we haven't won the routine or the expected wins, and this is what we're doing. Right? If you, like, most years, I would expect us to beat San Jose. We did that. I would expect us to at least put in a good match against TFC, and we clearly did that. Now the thing is, what's going to happen with Minnesota, based on what I saw in terms of standings, I think we should at least win, just based on that. And Minnesota has not been a great team since coming into the league. So that's right now, I think the expectation for this game is going to be, the one coming up is going to be to win. And we'll see if we can do that, if we can live up to expectations and do something we haven't been able to do in a while.
Yep.
All right. Any afterthoughts for this game?
Well, I want to get back to the hat trick. I believe this is the first. I mean, I don't remember the last time the Red Bulls had a hat trick. It's been a while, but this has to be the first hat trick that was scored in one half in the Red Bull era. Because the only other person I can remember is Clint Mathis, and that was in the MetroStar era. So, I mean, good grief! What a spectacle that was, and to put a team away in one half, it makes you feel warm and fuzzy. The captain getting that goal, just to really polish it off. I don't know, fantastic! I get excited. God, more to come, please. Have we found the number 10 we've been looking for? Have we found the guy? Is he going to be the guy?
Let's hope so. Yeah, I mean, I guess just kind of build on that. It's just, yeah, I mean, look, and you even touched upon it in your is that there's reinforcements still coming in. And, I've heard from certain people, certain people, I think Brian Sciaretta on American Soccer Now, he says Ashley Fletcher's the real deal. Will certainly be an upgrade over Tom Barlow. Luquinas, we'll see. I mean, again, the league he's coming from, we'll see. But if at least one of them is being vouched for by somebody I respect, that's encouraging. And hopefully this is the beginning of something special. I mean, again, I'm not convinced they've entirely turned the corner and they will be great this year. But I think what we can take from the two games is they just might be a little bit better than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, and we'll get to some demographic later, but maybe some of this, a new person that's coming into the organization might be able to help with that also.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. All right, so if that's it, the prediction standings, like I said last week, I'm coming for the belt. I am still in first with 2 points. Pat and Truman are both in second with 0. And honestly, if I just go 34 games in a row getting win-loss right, nothing else, I will be happy.
There you go.
That'd be pretty awesome. All right. So let's talk about the next match. The Red Bulls are taking on Minnesota United this Sunday, March 13th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Game will be broadcast on MSG or MLS Live. And I'm thankful to the home game because I miss Shep Messing, and hopefully Kanji's on this week. I don't know. It's one thing listening to different teams' broadcasts, but that home broadcast, man, I miss it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Truman does too.
Yeah.
Toronto was pretty good. I didn't mind them. They were actually really good announcers.
Well, I think...
But yeah, you definitely want the home cooking back.
They're TSN, so I assume they're not affiliated directly with any team. That's probably why.
Yeah. But I do love the Kanji man, so
yeah.
maybe my Kanji back.
I live in New Jersey, so I never don't have Shep and Kanji. So.
Well, ain't that special?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so predictions. Since I'm in first, I go first. And screw it, I'm going to stay with this streak. If it gets me a point, I'm good. I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory over Minnesota United. They've only drawn 2 games this year. Not sure if they're a good team or not, but you know what? 2-1's been working out for me so far, so we'll keep it going.
I wish the crowd was going to be packed because we know it's not, unfortunately. That's the kind of the sucky thing about this. We know the way the attendance has been going. Now it's a 7 o'clock Sunday game, so you could pile on that excuse. Because if you had a good turnout, the crowd would be electric for this one. Coming in off the 2 wins on the road, home opener. Fuck, man, we're all setting ourselves up, right, to get excited because that's what we all do as Red Bulls fans. But this is a game to get pumped about. The team looks good. I have to be different because I'm going to give them the win. But I say the Colonel puts on a show and we win 2-0.
All right. I'm not, I think Minnesota so far has not come out of the gate impressive at all. It is a home game. Granted, as Truman mentioned, it will not be an electric atmosphere. I'm one of the people who will not be able to be there, unfortunately. Sucks. Working this weekend. But I'm going to guess that some of the good times keep rolling. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 home win to open the season against Minnesota United.
Pat going ballsy here in week number 3.
I'm going ballsy. I say they keep it up, which means I'm confident in the team, which means they will lose. As soon as I believe, every year, as soon as I believe, they lay an egg.
So therefore, Pat is now saying none of us are getting points this week.
Yeah, we are fucked.
All right. Any other thoughts on the game coming up?
Yeah, I get to watch it. It's on at 7 o'clock on Sunday. I'll be home on the big couch. Very, very excited for that.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. So with that, it's time for the dumping ground.
I'm the trash man.
So the biggest news in Red Bull's land this week is number 99, Bradley Wright Phillips, is officially retiring and doing it as a New York Red Bull. He signed a 1-day contract today, so he can officially retire with the team. There are reports of him taking a front office position or some sort of front office position, but I don't think a lot of details have come out about what he'll be doing. Maybe he'll be mentoring the next crop of Red Bull forwards, and that'll help. Hopefully that's the case. But
I think
he's
taking over Young Gunner Sully's DJ spot. He's going to be the new DJ.
There you go.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
With his grime rap.
So I'm glad that he signed the 1-day contract because when he left the team 2 years ago, it was not on good terms. Right, he was coming off of a disappointing year with the performance or with the injury. Chris Armas apparently rubbed a few players the wrong way that year, and the way the front office dealt with things didn't help. So the fact that he has come back, signed this contract and will be working with the team, I'm glad to hear that's happening because I didn't want Bradley Phillips and the Red Bulls to have like a tarnished reputation. So I'm glad that that's sort of patched up and we can at some point celebrate 99 and all he did for this club.
Amen.
Real talk, BWP statue?
Ooh.
I mean, why
That's
not?
a realistic statue.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one you don't have to have a temporary top for. I would absolutely support that.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Any
All
other
right, Red
thoughts?
Bull, make it happen. Make it happen. I mean, the guy's a fucking legend. I mean, when you're ranking Red Bull players all time, I mean, I'm putting him number 1.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry was the greatest player I've ever seen personally play.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Red Bull, I mean, who is better than Bradley Wright Phillips?
I can't think of anybody for that matter.
Yeah, Luis Robles, maybe,
Yeah.
But, I mean, God, Bradley, that guy was something else. That guy was magical.
Yeah, he was a special player for us.
He's the team's all-time leading goal scorer, and he could have been so much farther ahead than everybody else. Right, the year he won the Golden Boot and tied the MLS scoring record, he easily could have like doubled that scoring record that year.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a shame he couldn't do it, but still.
I think the other thing we also loved about him was that he destroyed NYCFC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that guy was unbelievable against that team. And I mean, to be there day one when that team came in and to just I mean, immediately start wrecking shop against them. The 2 goals, he had 2 goals, I believe, in the 7-0 win. Such a great thing to see. It was so great. I mean, the guy, we could just talk about him forever. He's the fucking best.
Yep.
Definitely a legend, without question.
All right. Next on dumping ground, Jesse Marsh has landed a new job already.
There you go.
Took over the head job at Leeds, trying to keep them up in the Premier League this year. Apparently, Jack Harrison mentioned the Red Wedding game to him when Marsh showed up, so that's a good sign. Hopefully, he does well. It'd be good to see an American coach succeed in Europe. I mean, he already had success in Salzburg, but after what happened to him in Leipzig, I think he needs a win to kind of keep American coaches going.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I mean, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, it's certainly a risky venture for him to take. I mean, we kind of hope there's a little bit of some leeway, but I guess imagine he was hired with the pressure of no, you need to stay in the Premier League. I mean, I think he can. I think kind of taking, I don't want to say necessarily call it lesser talent and making them play above what they're, it sounds like it should be on paper. I think that's kind of a skill of his. So, hopefully he can do it. Hopefully he can keep Leeds afloat and maybe do something special next year.
I was going to say, I think that really the big thing with Jesse Marsh is that he's got big shoes to fill because there's already been a legendary American coach in English football, and he's got to be better than that guy. And I think you all know who I'm talking about. Ted Lasso. I mean, of course, right? Like he's got to take that spot that Ted Lasso's already started. And he's got to be better than that.
Well, Richmond got promoted, so we need to see the Leeds Richmond match.
There you go.
All right. Anything else on Jesse Marsh?
No, good for him. Go get him.
Yeah. All right, Pat, you put this one in there. You might know more about it than I do, so you want to talk about the last thing?
Yeah, so, I mean, if you've been living under a soccer rock or just been paying attention to the Red Bulls or just been paying attention to MLS, you may have missed that there was a horrific riot but in a game against Querétaro and Atlas de Guadalajara in the Liga MX this past weekend. The official accounts say no one died, but there were some 27 hospitalizations, injuries, whatever. Social media and some independent reporters are saying people did die at this event, and if you're like me and looked up some of the gruesome videos and pictures, you do find that no deaths report to be kind of hard to believe. But anyway, so the punishment, Liga MX has acted on it. Here are the punishments that are coming down. Basically, Querétaro will not be allowed to have any fans in their stadium for a year, any fans whatsoever. Since this is a battle between Barras, which are a Mexican supporter group, Ultras down there in Liga MX, Querétaro's Barras have been banned for 3 years. That actually might be league-wide. I think it's just for the team. I could be wrong, though. And the owners of Querétaro must sell the club by the end of the year. So they are ousted as owners. I think the punishment's soft, personally.
So technically the owners are no longer the owners. What I saw was that...
Oh, it reverted, yes. Ownership reverted to, like, the original owner who also owns Club Tijuana.
Yeah.
But I guess...
And if it doesn't sell within a year, then the league will take ownership.
But like I guess the current, now former owners, I guess maybe they're still in charge of making the sale or processing it or whatever.
I don't know. All I know is, and I saw something about they were banned for like 5 years from owning.
Yes, that was another punishment. They are banned from owning another team in Liga MX or in Mexican soccer, I believe, for 5 years. So I don't know. Seems too soft for me. Seems like something more could be done. Seems like, I mean, like I was watching Football Americas on ESPN Plus the other day, and they were detailing plenty of other violent incidents that have happened in Liga MX over the last couple of years. None nearly as bad as this, but it seems like it was a problem ramping up, and it just seems soft. I don't know. I mean, it does sound like police are now going to take over security in stadiums in these games now instead of private security groups, because some of the videos you could see the security were doing nothing. So I don't know. It just, for something like this, as brutal, as awful as like this, I mean, it truly was. I mean, if you got a strong stomach, go on Twitter, look it up. You can see some of the images, some of the videos, but it was brutal.
It's awful.
Yep.
It's awful. And this shit keeps happening with Mexican fans. It really sucks because, you know, Mexico as a whole is awesome. Mexican people are fucking awesome, but something happens when you get them these games. They just screw some of them. It's crazy. They're just fucking maniacs. And we see it nonstop with the national team over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the hell's going on. Pat, like I said, I don't know what the answer is to solve this problem. I really don't. I said FIFA could take action just with Mexican football in general. Probably not going to happen. Probably not able to happen. But what the fuck do you get to stop this stuff from happening?
That's a good question.
You would think after like the hooliganism in England in the 80s and stuff like this, we wouldn't be here, but
well, I mean that's something that brought up on the again Football Americas, is that in the 80s when just Liverpool fans got in those fight with, I believe, with Juventus fans in European competition, there's a major brawl there, and all English teams were banned from international competition for 5 years. So, and that was not FIFA, that was UEFA doing that action. But it just seems, I don't know. This does not seem like it's going to end the problem at all.
Half-hearted attempts really do stop the problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you got to do the nuclear option. You know, it's whether be banning banning Mexico from the CONCACAF Champions League, whatever. I mean, like it certainly doesn't have the same heft as the UEFA Champions League. I don't know if you can take a league punishment and put it on the national team. I mean, there are certainly questions in that aspect, but yeah, I don't know.
All right, is that it for dumping grounds?
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, then it's time for Pat's betting corner.
Alrighty, so I don't have another parlay for you, so I'm just gonna take a team and fuck it, I'm gonna say us. Put your money on us. We're gonna beat Minnesota this week. Do it. Make your bets, people.
All right. And with that, it's time for our last segment, Truman's Terrible Team of the Week.
That's terrible.
Speaking of terrible teams, I heard Woody Johnson wants to buy Chelsea.
I did hear that.
Oh, God, no. Fuck, please.
So there you go. Just wanted to pile on there. Listen, I'm going to give the terrible team to a team that played at home and gave up 4 goals in the first half, including a hat trick, and that's TFC. Well deserved. Yes, it was us that kicked their asses, but you could have given it to, I guess, Miami for losing to Austin 5-0, but Austin FC was home. I think it's worse to play your home opener and get absolutely thrashed in your own building.
Or Atlanta
and I like giving it to TFC.
Oh, no.
Yeah, listen, I like giving it to Toronto. I like it. It's fun.
Okay. Well, Atlanta didn't play at home. I just saw the scoreline for a second. I thought they did. Here's just looking at the scores. My suggestion as a honorary terrible team of the week, and that is Cincinnati, which we all know is really terrible. But to lose 1-0 with a 10-man advantage at DC.
Just as we're mad about it. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. All right. So I believe that's it. Anything else we want to talk about?
I got nothing.
Yeah. Can fucking baseball get your shit together? All right. Fucking A. I'm not gonna go in the back. Come on. Get your fucking shit together.
Yeah, good luck with that.
The best part is seeing if baseball's not around, MLS should capitalize articles.
Oh, God, I know.
That takes zero account to the fact that MLS needs to offer something aside from being there when baseball's not.
Yeah. Yes, that MLS fans, stop being silly, because it'll never happen in a million years. You're not going to convince a whole ton of baseball fans to go, oh, yeah, I love baseball, but soccer. Yeah, that's it. I'm in. Once a week, yeah, soccer. I love it.
We don't like sports with constant motion. We like things that pause for 15 minutes at a time.
If I don't get a 3.5 to 4 hour game, I'm out.
Have you ever watched a game where it's been six innings of pop-ups? Fucking awesome.
I love 13 foul balls in a row.
You know who's really going to benefit if Major League Baseball doesn't get their shit together? It's the USFL, not Major League Soccer.
Oh, yeah, they're lying in wait. The USFL is ready. Poised to strike. The USFL.
Maybe you got a more ingrained sport that's popping up like at the right moment. So
the Jersey Generals are back, baby.
And they're playing all their games in
Alabama.
Yeah, right, and they're all playing in Florida.
That's the one thing they didn't get about the USFL is why the first season everybody is playing in Alabama. I mean, I guess it does reduce costs, but still, like, how do you bring this back and not put the Generals in MetLife Stadium?
Who the hell knows?
I mean, when the XFL was around for half a year before COVID, they at least put their teams spread out in their actual cities.
It's true.
All right. That's it. Let's wrap this one up. You can visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month is all you need for exclusive content, such as our monthly wrap-up, live post-games, anything we decide to do. Email us at redbullrant@gmail.com. Call us 973-348-5329. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant. On Twitter, Red Bull Rant for the show. At Dr. Stooge myself. At the Truman for Truman. Subscribe to our show via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
Two things. The new episode of Letterkenny is fantastic. It definitely brought a tear to my eye at the very end. If you haven't watched it yet, it's great. Second, oh man, Sunday night of football. Very excited. Let's fucking do it. 3 in a row. 9 points in 3 games. Get out there. Fucking win.
That's right. Come on, baby. Let's win, baby.
Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
All right.
All right. I'll need to get that one out, too. You know, I'm surprised I don't have more Letterkenny sound bites.
Get to work on it.
Yeah. All right. So, for Pat, Truman, and myself, this has been episode 389 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, go Red Bulls.
How are you now?
Lights.
We are